So this here is the setup I got going on. So it's a bunch of Lego to hold the camera, the iPhone 11 here to film the screen. Cause I don't know how to do any technical stuff with anything. So I'm just going to record it like that. And I found, see, I used to have a GoPro. And so here's more of the dog running. And there's my uncle's two trucks. And this truck here is a GM, that's my cousin's. That was my late uncle's, my cousin inherited. And then my other uncle, who's the main worker of the farm, besides me and my mom. So that's his truck, and this is the Ford. They both worked at this time. And there's a 108 Kubota, there's a skidder. This is a fun one. This is a dog jumping up on we have a haystack in our hay shed. And so this hay shed here, I'd say that's probably maybe 60 feet tall, roughly. I don't know. My uncle built that. I could ask him. He'd know how tall it is. But it's pretty tall. And the bales, we stack round bales up there. And no one really approves of me jumping up there because they say it's dangerous. But you know what they say, danger is fun. So I love to climb up there. And I put the camera on the dog again, so the dog jumped up there. This is funny. She climbs up the haystack. And I tell people that, I trained our dog maybe not be trained perfectly for cattle, but she jumps on stuff. Like, she can climb roofs of buildings, and no one believes me, but I have video proof of it, so let's watch it. That's the first bale, second bale, third bale, fourth bale. I think that haystack is about 5 bales tall, 4 bales tall maybe. So now she's up on top. A little shake. And then I came up after her. And we're up there. She's not scared of heights, that dog. That's a good thing. Stay. Now she's coming down. So Sophie's about 9 years old today, the dog. And I think she's agile enough. She could still jump up on those bales if she really wanted to. She's in pretty good health for being 9. So here's a slightly better video of the dog climbing on that haystack. You can kind of tell how, the building's really tall. The hay in there is, maybe you could get a few more levels of bales, but the tractor just couldn't stack it any higher. So it's a good building. And actually, I think this year we're going to finally finish it. So there's supposed to be a lean-to here. And it was never finished when this building was built brand new back in the 80s. And my uncle built this. I think he had some other people helping him. He couldn't have done it alone, but he built this part anyway. And then the rest of it's going to get finished maybe even this summer, which is exciting because this was built back in the 80s, so that's quite a while. So here's a better video of the dog climbing. And there's a bit of snow on the camera, and there's a tractor working outside right now, so you're going to have to put up with that noise, but yeah, here's a better video. As you can see kind of how tall it is. A little better anyway. All right, Karen. Up. Up. Good girl. Up. Yeah. So it's kind of, there's snow on the camera, but that's a slightly better video of A dog jumping up there. Okay, so this is a funny one. I put the GoPro in the dog's water dish, and I kind of encouraged her to drink from it. She didn't really want to drink from it, but let's see this. This is pretty funny. Yeah, I kind of encouraged her to drink, but she didn't want to drink the water because the GoPro was in there. Kind of scared of it. That was pretty funny. She tried to bite the GoPro.
Whenever I do that, there's water everywhere.
And here's Sharina, the cat, drinking from the same water dish. That cat. She doesn't want to drink from it either. And then she's like walking over it, and so this is the cat and the dog playing together. That's Gemma and Sophie. It's so funny. Also, we got a new set of chairs for a new table here, and what's that? A buffet, I guess. So we got a buffet and chairs replaced. So we got some new stuff in the house, over the last couple of years. Okay, so here's the dog jumping on this old roof here. She can kind of climb it because this is a root house. So the back of it is, it's built on a hill. The front is on a hill, and then the back is, it's tall. It's kind of hard to explain, but so the roof is like only 4 feet or 3 feet, including the snow. So the dog can kind of just jump up there. I think I gave her a little bit of a hand to get up there, but this is fun. This dog, Sophie, knows how to climb roofs, and I kind of trained her. You just say up and kind of encourage her, and then once she does it once or twice, she knows how to do it. It's really fun.
All right, Sophie, jump. Up, 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 up here.
She jumps up there, and she just kind of walks up there. See, she just kind of walks across like an acrobat dog. This dog is famous. See, I can hardly climb on that roof.
Did you see over there?
That's an old wooden roof. It was made of board.
Oh, you got it now. Hey, come here.
Yeah, so that's like an old wooden roof. That's a really old building. Someone just used boards for the roof, but now wooden roofs they don't last forever. You're gonna have to, like this building, I think is too far gone. That's to save that. Even if you put a new roof on it, the ceiling underneath the root house is caving in, so it's kind of a suicide building. We still use this today, but that building isn't worth fixing. Okay, so here's our dog jumping up on our fuel tanks. It sounds like something dangerous, but the fuel tanks don't have any fuel on the outside of them, just inside. Some people might say, oh, that's not chemical, but there's no fuel on the outside of the fuel tanks. Obviously, and they don't leak, and we still use those today. They're good fuel tanks. So, I go up there sometimes. I jump. There's 3 of them, and the dog's just kind of climbing on them. Or she jumps up on the one, and then continues to jump up. She jumps up on the one, and then that's the second one. So yeah, there's a board that she climbs from. So I think there's like a tiny tank down here or something, and then there's a white tank, and there's a board that goes from the white tank to the other one. She walks on the board, jumps up that one, and jumps on the other one, and yeah, it's pretty fun. And here's the cat. The cat used to sleep in this drawer, so she just kind of popped her head out. It's so funny. She just like pops her head out and she tries to get out. She's crawling out of there.
Oh, she's coming out. She's coming out. Let's film her. Are you shy? Is that why you're looking at me like that? Sniffing the camera. How come you always sniff the camera? You just telling me that you're cute? You're so cute. You said. You may say it.
So yeah, that's Serena. She was a kitten. So yeah, the cats used to sleep in this drawer. So, I always leave the drawer open a crack so that they can get out if they want to, but they really like boxes, and they're right near me. They like to be near me, and so they like to sleep in that drawer. And this drawer, it broke, and I fixed it over the years, but yeah, so that I always leave this open, about an inch, so then they can they kind of get their paw out and then kind of squeeze their head out, and they can get in and out pretty easily. So they like to sleep in there. That's funny. The cats like to sleep in that drawer.
Going to jump off a roof. Take a whole bunch of videos of me jumping off a roof. We're gonna jump right around there. Oh! No, not the camera. Oh! That's landing.
That was funny. Jumping off roofs. Okay, so the snow was really hard. And so it was like 3 feet of snow. So I dug tunnels under the snow. You dig a hole, then you dig it, because under the crust of the snow, the crust is like thicker than that, really hard snow. Underneath it's like powder ice. So I dug a tunnel, and then you could army crawl through the tunnel under the snow and then come up out of the snow. And then I got the dog Sophie's in there.
Come here. Good girl. That's a hole, a fox hole, a wolf hole.
And I made up a story because I dug that, but just to make it sound more interesting. Okay, so here is another roof that Sophie's climbing. And the building that she's going to be climbing, that building is not bad. The roof is not the best on it. It needs a new roof, but the rest of the building is actually not bad. But it's a 2-level building. But the only problem is it kind of sinks into the ground. So what you'd have to do is jack that building up. And if you jack that building up, actually this building, we call it the tack room. So that's the building right here. And so you see it's got 1 level and then the 2nd level. So this building could be saved. The roof is in pretty good shape on it for being a wooden roof. But what the plan is throw a new roof on there and jack it up. And then this would be a savable building. That would be a good building. And that motorcycle you heard, that was my cousin on his motorcycle. Okay, so here is a little fort. It's kind of like a tree fort, not really a tree house, but I kind of wish I hadn't outgrown that thing. The tree's still alive, the fort still exists, those boards and the ladder and everything. So this here is a big part of my childhood. I didn't build it, I built it maybe 6 or 7 years ago. So this is really fun. I like this thing. So it's the tree, a non-sugar maple. It's just a maple. You can't get syrup from it. But yeah. So basically, there's a ladder here. This is my mom's house trailer here, and then this is the old foundation of a house. And when my uncle and grandpa bought the farm, there was a house here on this foundation in the 70s. They bought it in the 70s. And then the house burnt down. I think it was a TV that had a problem. It shorted out. No one was home. No one was hurt. The house burnt to the ground. So years went by, and then the trailer ended up here, and the foundation is, fallen over. But yeah, so then there's a ladder here, the tree's here, the tree goes up here, this way, and then there's just these couple of limbs, and now there was a limb here, but it was dead, someone cut it. So I put like a little deck here, and then see there's like steps that go up here. You can climb up here, go up here a ways, and over here, and then that branch is not that fun. And actually, I used to be able to get from here onto the roof of the trailer, but either that branch broke off or the tree shifted back this way because I can't reach the roof of the trailer anymore. I think someone cut the branch off. And then you can go up here, and then there's like a little bench up here you can sit on. I think my dad made that, actually. My dad kind of came up here and just made a little bench, and then I put a board here. There's a rope. You can hang onto the rope, get on top of the board, and this is just so fun. And whenever we have our family members who have kids, they always climb on this, and just, there's like boards up here. It's just so much fun. This is like a world of heaven. And then there's I'm gonna try to get a good shot of it, but yeah. See, there's another little deck on this side of the trunk. There's a little deck here as well, and then you can like go over here, and this tree is so much fun. This is a lot of fun. I've kind of outgrown it, but for other kids that come here, this is a fun tree. Sophie goes up there. So yeah, you can see that. See, there's a little bench. See, Sophie just goes up there so fast. It jumps up there in like half a second. You can see there's a board. There's, a few boards there, and then you keep going. There's flat boards up there. I think I put those there to give you more grip. And then there's a little bench, kind of up in that corner. There's a little bench, and then there's a board up there. And Sophie jumps up on that bench. Jumps up there.
Yeah, you're up the tree. Yeah.
And she comes down again.
Yeah. The tree.
And then there's see if we can get a better shot of the other deck. So here's this other little deck here. So there's like a little board to go through here, and actually you see how there's like saplings. Saplings grew all around here in the last few years. So it's a lot bushier in here and in here. And it's a lot more bush here. And there's actually some limbs that started to grow over here, which I like because we kind of thought this tree would die. But I think the tree's kind of coming back. The new trees around this tree, the roots of it are growing. So yeah, this is fun. There's like a ledge here, like a little deck over here, and then climb up and down that. That's fun. And so what was funny is Sophie, I actually didn't even remember that she could even do that. And she gets up that steeper ladder. I put boards across, and then she can get like up these branches and up here. I helped her a bit. I kind of pushed her up there because she kind of doesn't really know how to. She's still learning how to get up there. She's kind of learning how to get up there, but yeah. You can get up there. That's fun.
how you're gonna get down though. You're up here, but how are you gonna get down? Yeah, this is Sophie up here. The camera was on her. Turned off. Dirty. It should be recording.
So that's the GoPro mount on the harness. So what I did here is I glued, this is just hot glue, believe it or not. Well, the GoPro mounts, you get like a pack of them. They have sticky stuff underneath them. Stuck that on, hot glued it, and then I put a wire, I think on the inside of this harness here. Put a bunch of duct tape over it so it doesn't rub on the dog. And so this part here is kind of supported more with that wire, and then that helps keep the GoPro stable. But you see, it kind of tips and shakes around, so it's not the best system. But this was fun, and we still have that harness around here somewhere. I wouldn't want to risk putting my iPhone on there, but I had the GoPro mount on the dog, and that was a lot of fun. Here's the VMAX down there. And then so what the dog here does, she runs up these stairs, jumps over this board, and gets on the deck. I trained her to do that too. Okay, so here's a better shot of her climbing up this grain shed and the metal sheds over here. And I store all of our spare scrap metal and hardware metal in here, and then this one is kind of used for oil and some other stuff, like I think there's some old machine parts in there. There's a box of a bunch of old transmission parts out of our John Deere tractors and some other weird stuff in there. But yeah, so we use both of these buildings. This one is fine, nothing's wrong with it. It's watertight. This one is falling over. There's no foundation under it. It's gone, but it's snowproof, but it's not waterproof. So water leaks in the roof, but snow doesn't really, snow melts and goes in the roof, but it doesn't snow in here. And I put some boards up off the ground in here. So this building is very rotten, but what it works good for is keeping all your spare steel and scrap, it's all on the floor here, but at least it's not frozen to the ground and covered with snow. So you can at least get it in wintertime. Even if it's got ice on it, you just chip that off or melt it off with a torch. So this building is good at storing stuff that doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't really matter if it gets rained on, kind of thing, but at least it's not getting snowed on, so you can still get to it in winter. So that's why I put all that stuff in there. It's better than being outside, but it's still not very good. So the dog climbs up here, and I think she may jump over there too. So yeah, so she jumps up here, gets on here, and then jumps over to this white building. Yeah. And then there's a board here. So see this board, so when she comes down the roof, she's coming down the roof, and she jumps on this board and goes that way. Yeah, good girl, Sophie.